This video is going to showcase the integration capabilities we have with changes and schedules. We're going to start off going off to our changes tile, and we see we've got an engineering change notice here. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. We'll see that we have our affected items, our overview, our impacted items, and reference items. Underneath the reference items area, there is a section called planned items. This is where we can actually attach an execution schedule to associate it to this change. We create a new schedule from scratch. We're going to actually leverage one from a template. So I'm going to hit this add button, open this up. This pulls me a list of available templates. I've got a change execution template here. So I'll hit the add button. I'm going to come up here and just copy the name of this change that we're doing, put it in for the schedule itself. We can hit the start date. We'll actually start this on Monday. Start at 8 o'clock is just fine. I'll hit the create button. Now what we see is that our schedule is now attached and associated directly with this change object. So if I want, I can actually hit the open button. So from here, I've got my different tasks. Within this template, we actually laid this all out so that it's set up with what we call disciplines. These are like placeholders for the type of people that you need. I'm going to come up and I'm going to highlight those tasks. I'm going to use the manage button and designate disciplines. If I go to the all radio button, this pulls a list of all the disciplines used within the highlighted tasks so that I can now go map live people to fulfill these roles. So who's going to be my design engineer? Hit this little back button, get the next one, manufacturing. So since there's only one person, you might have Mark just hard-coded in there, so you don't need to do this discipline piece. We can actually assign these things off to resource pool so that you can actually have anyone from that pool pick up these task assignments and claim them from the team. So we go ahead, we map all our different task assignments across. By doing this, we not only mapped across the task assignments based on the role, but then there can be system and email notifications also set to those disciplines, and we've mapped a live person to take those on too. A little extra feature I'm going to hit this ellipsis button, go to manage, and we're going to assign task deliverable. I'm going to come up to my palette tab because anything you've recently worked on is going to be here and available in this pick list. So I'm going to actually attach the change object itself directly to the task assignments so the team member wouldn't need to, if they wanted to go into that change object, they'd have a quick, easy link to that. So if I go to my overview tab, I'm going to showcase by doing that attachment to those tasks, that actually this is a live link back to that change object. Now, creating the schedule on the change object also attached the change to the schedule object. So we've made these interconnected, and you'd see that in a relationship browser too. So I hit the open button on the change, I'm back into the change. If I come out to my reference items, and I come down and I highlight my schedule, we're going to take this one step further. We're going to come up, we're going to use manage, and we're going to go to propagate. Now what this is going to do, it's going to pull the objects we had in our affected items area and allow us to map them to the individual tasks from the schedule. So I've got all those tasks here. And so you could hand select these. I'm just going to select all and bring them all over. So then I hit this propagate button, and it's made a connection between these deliverables and these task assignments. So if I stand in any one of these task assignments, I'll see those relationships. Is this correct? So I could track and manage this directly from here. So here's the big advantage that we've done. We've made this very convenient for your team members. If I go ahead and hit this open button, as a team member, when I open up a task assignment, I see the link directly to that change object if I want to go to the change object itself. But what it also did is it brought in the affected items tab from the change. So now I can do my work. I go off and maybe we create a Rev B for this switch and we attach it as our solution items. And maybe you put this through additional workflows. You do whatever it is that you want to do to follow your process-wise to track and manage that. I'm going to come back to my overview tab because I want to showcase something else here. We're going to go and put this into edit mode. So we'll go start edit. And I'm going to scroll down here, and what we're going to do is just update our percent complete. So what I want to showcase here is the role it would look like from, say, a team member. So when they come to their home tab, they're going to have this tile we call the schedules task tile. They'd simply click this open, and they're going to see all the tasks and assignments that are coming to them in the near future. What's nice is we've got some capabilities built into the system so that when the predecessor tasks are done, any task that could be worked on, its status will automatically be changed to in progress. And then there's also a sweep that comes through, like once a day, looks for any tasks that are late. It'll change their status to late. This would be the primary area they would focus on. That problem identification task, I'd purposely change that to 50%, so it would be in progress. Team members, they wouldn't have to go through their not started tasks to look for something to work on. For the most part, they're going to focus on this in progress area. These are all the tasks that are ready to be worked on. So just again, a little cleaner, efficient way to manage that. They would simply come in, they'd see that task assignment, they'd open that up. Here's where we were just at. They would see that affected items tab. They would do whatever work they need to do. If their task was complete, they could have used the edit button and mark that 100% complete. The other thing they could do is use this as a drag and drop capability and move that task across. I wanted to mark that task as complete to showcase a new task had just arrived. This was the next task in the line from the schedule. So if I go ahead and open that up, here's that task assignment. Here's a live link back to the change schedule. So now we can actually see that first task has been marked complete. Actual date and timestamps of when things started and when they finished have been captured in the system. And we see these next two tasks have been triggered because this task was complete. So we built this efficiency right into the system to help us with this overall execution process. So what I'm going to do next is come back out to home because we created this change schedule. Let's go associate that back to our original new product development schedule we started from. This change was important enough that we needed to create a schedule for it to account for the time and effort it took to get this done. We hit this expansion card, switch, we'll hit this, we expand that out. Now we've actually brought that change schedule into the mix with the overall product schedule. So if I expand out these areas, what I can actually do is then take this change, I'm going to take this milestone, I'm going to create a cross-schedule dependency. I'm going to go connect that right to this production design review meeting. We've now created a cross-schedule dependency between these two tasks. So if that change gets slipped, it can push that milestone out. I'm going to navigate back to that change schedule. So what I wanted to do is showcase that when you do make those cross-schedule dependencies, the tasks that they're connected to, I have visibility to those tasks. Here's that review, and it's from this the original product schedule, but it's visible from the change schedule itself. So again, just a very clean, efficient way for project managers to stop chasing status. A big portion of your schedule can just self-execute on its own. And then we've given your team members a very clean way to get their task assignments, attach their deliverables, update this information, and it all flows back all the way to the change.